Morning. Feeling a little bit better today. It's a little overcast. It's supposed to rain tonight and possibly the next couple days, so gotta get some wood ready so I don't burn out of all the pellets. Try to balance that out. So this morning, that's what we're doing, is just a little bit of wood processing and getting things ready so they mesh well with the wood stove. So I got my trusty axe, saw, and I got my special up north gloves. They're important. They're custom. Some of these you can just break into bite-sized pieces for the stove. There we go. That one needs a haircut. Little fresh yet, but this guy will leave out here to dry. I got my Gandalf staff. Let's see how this one's doing. Oh yeah, that'll burn. Not bad. Not bad at all. That one's good. This one will burn great. This morning's brought to you by the number 4. Those will burn good. right into a knot. That's yeah, sometimes, I mean, that looks all right, but sometimes that'll happen. That's a little fresh anyway. Back to the pile with you. Hey, we got this guy here, although I could probably just go right in the stove. That'd be all right. This one will be fun to cut. I mean, it's flat there, which is nice, but that's, oh, not so much. It's sort of disintegrating, so perhaps that's not good to burn. I just burn it as is. I burn it as is. So I got my wood pile inside here. I got it organized by when I brought it in. As you can see, we got a bag of pellets, another bag of pellets, and plenty of mostly pine, just to keep it in line, keep this thing going. This should be good for a couple days, depending on how cold it gets. Although I don't think it's not gonna get terribly cold, but it might rain, so it might be just kind of wet, which, you know, makes it a little bit more cold. But you know, I'm feeling better, so the energy's going up, and you know, the internal heater is starting to crank, starting to feel better. So I'm not gonna overdo it today. Just gonna kind of ease through the day. The hard work is done. We're gonna see how we feel and take it from there. And our fan is cranking away. We got some hot water on the stove. God, a little bit of tea. Gonna enjoy me some of that. Good morning. Feeling better this morning, and it looks like I got a couple hours before the rain starts, so gonna start planning my project, my outside projects. Looking forward to that. Show you kind of what I'm thinking. Things are turning up okay. All right, we got a zoomed out look here. This is sort of the area that I am working with. Probably at some point put something to stop the sand from falling down, but I still want to remove a little bit more. And then over here, I got this fire pit, and I really like this here. It's pretty awesome. I've actually made a little shelter here around this this platform and this fire pit, and that was pretty awesome. But as you can see, the sand is eroding down, so I need to shovel out this as well. And I'm gonna take the fire pit out and then maybe move it back a little bit near-ish and see how that goes, and then kind of clear some of this out. I need to move this here, falling on things, this table out of the way. Table, deck pier thing, you know, wood platform table. I'm just gonna take this and I'm just gonna move this probably right there ish, just to get it out of the way. I don't want to set it on that, because that right there is going to be the platform for the yurt. So over here, I just want to move this table, clear this out, so this is kind of an open area so I can move a wheelbarrow in and out, and then haul some of the sand out, and then I will show you sort of my plan on what to do with the sand. So I got these sand mounds here, and under these, maybe a foot under them or so, is just a bunch of rotted wood, just kind of stacked up all along here. And this is my Northwoods hugelkultur, and it worked pretty good last year, and I'm excited to see how it works this year. I got some plans started, some things I'm going to plant here, so I'm looking forward to that. I got these pots that I got to throw some compost in and get them ready, and hope to be planting lots of kale, get some lettuce, some green beans, potatoes, squash, tomatoes probably, peas. There's a couple other things I'm forgetting, but I'll get around to that. Anywho, so I have this area over here by this 1960s wheelbarrow that needs a, it's fine. So I'm gonna put some more wood down here and then kind of extend this mound to connect to that mound, so it's just one large hugelkultur. And then over here I have another hugelkultur. I got a, right here, if you could see, you got this raspberry bush. It's starting to bud out, so that's exciting. Yeah, I got this hugelkultur here that I don't think I'm gonna extend this one. Might throw some more sand on top, but gonna put something there, not sure what. One of those vegetables I named already. And then over here have something here too, and I'm not exactly sure what. I'm gonna kind of let this sort of grow organically. This does flood when the water gets high. I mean, it's kind of high. Well, the reservoir is at capacity right now, probably over 90%, maybe 95 if I had to guess, but I know it can definitely flood more, and based on how things are going on the earth, it's going to. So I know this does flood, and I got some sand in here already. I've hauled a bunch of sand in here, and I'm going to do a little bit more, but this I think is actually pretty good fertile stuff because it has flooded and then receded, flooded, receded, flooded, receded. So there's a lot of organic material in this area, and I think this is going to turn out to be something good. I think what I might do is take that boat and then change the lighting here just to even this out, or not, whatever. Anyway, take that boat and then put that boat parallel with that pier piece, and then that'll knock down a little bit of the wind that kind of comes off here sometimes, because it can get a bit aggressive, and if I'm going to grow stuff here, I probably want to deflect a little bit of the wind at least. That is until I get a motor for that boat. I've gone through many of them. That's another story for another day. But that boat floats. I like it. My old man had it when I was a kid, and I know it still floats. I got a 2015 sticker on it. So once I have a motor for it, then I'll update the registration, and I'll have a working boat. So at some point that might be exciting. So I'm on the lookout for a motor, something. I suppose I could put the trolley motor on that, but really I'd like to get at least a 15 horse, something like that. 15 to 25, probably no more than 35 horse motor, just so I can scoot around this area here, and then this lake connects out to several other lakes, and all kinds of great stuff to explore, and really good fishing to be had. So that's what I would like to do there. So those are sort of my plans, and it's basically a lot of moving sand around, which is a pretty awesome process. Actually, it's a lot of work, and it's hard work, but it's something I enjoy. This is like my outdoor gym slash real life Minecraft play area, I guess you could say. Alrighty, so I'm gonna get started here pretty quickly. I got kind of a rough idea as I showed you what I would like to do, and yeah, I gotta move some things around, hopefully clear this out, get at least that pier piece moved over, before the rain starts. So that's my goal, and here we go. Oh, the rain is spoiling our fun. Well, the rain sent me back in here. Started a little earlier than I thought, but yeah, what are you gonna do? Got a couple things moved, and we'll get the rest moved. So we'll see how I feel after I kind of settle down. I'm gonna go ahead and stoke up this here fire. As you can see, it needs a little bit of stoking, but I got me some red coals, so shouldn't take long, and probably make some tea. Maybe I'll pluck a couple strings, maybe write a little bit. We'll see how it goes. Hoping to get a break in the rain maybe in a couple hours, and maybe I'll make something to eat or continue working. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Just gonna live in the moment and enjoy it. Be grateful. Feel the love. I think I'm gonna throw a potato on now, or a yam as it were, and get that starting to bake now, and then something warm to eat on a cold rainy day, so something to look forward to. So it'll take forever. Well, not forever. It'll take maybe 2 2 hours or so. I don't plan on getting this stove ripping hot. If I got it ripping hot, it would probably only take like an hour ish. I don't know. So yeah, it'll take a couple hours, I think, which is fine. All right, well, it appears the rain has stopped. It's not drizzling either, so early false alarm. I'm sure as soon as I start working, it'll rain again. Seems to be how it works, but we will strike while we can. So these mats, rubber mats, they're recycled tires, that kind of thing. It was my original idea for a platform for the yurt to sit on. My thinking was it would almost be like a gym surface, so you know you could lay on the ground, you could do a little bit of yoga, a little bit of give to it. It did not really work out well for that. However, I find that these mats work pretty well on top of these old pier pieces, and they kind of even them out a bit. And yeah, that's basically what they are. It's a material, it's a surface material for whatever. I'm sure their uses will evolve as time goes on. But yeah, that's what those are, and they're duct tape and or Gorilla Tape together, so they're probably all going to fall apart relatively soon. This is season number 2 for them, and they're all in questionable condition. I need a place to go with that, and you're in the way, so let's get you moved. So that should work, at least temporarily. It'll go back there. I like that pier piece as a surface near that fire pit. So doing yoga outside or just sitting outside, you know, sometimes it's a little too windy or whatever by the water, so it's nice to have a fire over there. Just got to be careful about those ends. Boop. Those will rip holes in your ankles, so probably should just take those off, but I'm gonna be proper and not. And regret it later probably, but let's see what the area looks like now. Yeah, this is sort of what needs to be cleared out, and probably make a mound of sand down by the water to be used later for whatever project. And yeah, that's what we're thinking, that's what we're doing. So digging in here, got to be careful about roots because there's very large heavy trees that are pretty tall but healthy, and I want to keep them that way, so I got to be pretty careful about that. It's a really nice oak tree right here. It's pretty awesome. Here, I'll give you the bird's eye view, I think. Yeah, that guy right there behind the shed goes way up into the bright. Into the very, very bright. So yeah, that one in particular, because if other trees fall, that one will possibly catch it or, deflect it or prevent catastrophe, I guess you could say. But yeah, so this is where we are. I kind of want to get the wheelbarrow out and do a couple shovel loads, but I'm starting to feel the humidity creep up again, so I think it's going to rain soon. And I don't really want to work in the... If it was snow, it would be fine. But rain is a little bit different. Even though I have a stove and I can warm up and dry up, I'd, coming off of a cold, flu, whatever, I don't want to push it. I want to get some things done, but I also want to take it easy and not overdo it, overexert myself. I think that's kind of how, or one of the reasons why I sort of got sick-ish in the first place. And the first time I've been sick in, I don't know, a year or two, something like that. And it was mild, but it was just subtle enough and no firepower. No, I couldn't, I didn't have the firepower to lift things up or do what I just did, move that pier piece. But now I feel pretty good. I feel like I do, but I, again, don't want to overdo it. Hit maybe 70% usage today at the most. So yeah, you can see what this Minecraft thing is sort of like. It's a lot of fun. It's like the most fun I've ever had, to be honest with you. Just to be outside, work outside, you get the water and moving sand around, and physically you feel good. You actually feel like you're doing something. It's satisfying and rewarding. And then, to show family and friends and, and then to have them participate too is pretty awesome. And that's, I don't know, that's what's important in life. It's far more important than, I guess, material things or technological things or trying to build the money pile as large as possible because, but I mean that's, if that is someone's method for their, how they ascend in life, then great. I mean, that's super. Like, I tried that and it didn't work for me. It actually had some negative effects on me. So, not that I don't, I enjoy working. I enjoy working hard. I enjoy getting things done. I like the accomplishment. But I found that using physicality to accomplish things is far more rewarding, to me anyway. But I like mental things certainly are rewarding too, and problem solving just in general. So, whether that's on a computer or whatever, I mean, I've done that and still do that. And it is also rewarding, but I find this more rewarding. So I guess I do that. I do the computer stuff so I can do this stuff. I suffer in that way so I can suffer here. And that equals better. It does. It really does. Yeah, it feels good to talk. I spend a lot of time alone and I don't often have people to talk to. And then when I am around people, I'm generally listening, which I I enjoy, and I feel like it's what I can provide other people, and whatever I can do to lessen the suffering seems like a good thing. Seems like a worthwhile thing, and partly that's why I'm doing this. Gloomy, rainy all day. Finally a glimmer of sun half an hour before it goes down. I'll take it. Well, I got my foot prisons on. It's a little frosty on the ground, and got some work to get done, so Just gonna deal with it every, I don't know, a couple days. These get a little loose. Simple adjustment does the trick. It's a beautiful, quiet morning. I'm enjoying my coffee, just enjoying the morning. It's chilly, but it feels really good. Just brilliant. Brilliant. Trying to absorb as much sun as I can and just enjoy it, because I might have a couple days without it. I think it's supposed to snow tonight and be cloudy for a couple days, and then hopefully get a little bit nicer. We'll see. Weather forecast changes every day, so I don't know. Well, right now I'm trying to get as much solar as I can in preparation of a couple days without, because tomorrow's Monday and I might have to go pick up some more wood pellets. My wood supply is pretty low right now. I mean, it does a good job in conjunction with the wood pellets, especially when I want to get the stove ripping. I had wood in there. I got a couple pieces of hardwood left, mostly pine. Pine burns hot, but it burns fast. So it's not exactly dependable for the long haul. You really got to burn a lot of it, and it's just more maintenance. Smells great. I cannot argue with that at all. Maybe an hour or two of intermittent solar I can get. My battery's around upper 70s percentile, hoping to get in the 80s somewhere. And then my usage is 10 to 15% of the battery a day, I would say. Depending on what I'm doing. If I'm editing, it's more. But just general ticker maintenance and just charging the phone and the batteries and the tablet. Yeah, 10% probably be conservative, 15% is probably about average, and maybe 20% on a heavy day. It's about the usage. If I was doing more cooking and more processing, I would use more, but I don't. I try to keep it as simple as possible. I like simple. Simple has less opportunity to go wrong, I feel. Also, simple tends to be a little easier to correct or to find a resolution to problems. Simple. The acronym KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Just looking around at what I sort of plan on doing. Brightness up. You just have to add the command and there it goes. Amazing. Debating whether I'm not going to pull out the wheelbarrow and shovel and start moving some stuff. Thinking about it. At the very least, what I probably end up doing is pulling out the wheelbarrow and then just raking some of these little leaves off the ground. So you can see there's, the work area needs a little bit of clearing. So I'll do that, I think. It's good we had this talk. I'm glad we got this cleared out, because if we didn't get to communicate, what would we do? We'd be lost in a sea of stuff. All right, nothing accomplished. There we go. I'm happy. On the topic of firewood, I did find out some awesome information. My uncle came up for a couple hours a couple days ago, and we were chit-chatting about the wood stuff. And I have another uncle who gets a permit from the county where he can go and take the fallen fallen trees and the stuff that the lumber companies left behind, and the permit's like, 20, maybe $30. So I think I'm gonna do that. I can't get that permit until June 1st. So I have to be stingy until then, and even after then I'll still be kind of stingy. I've grown to be stingy with firewood. When you process your own firewood mostly by hand, by axe that is, you're kind of tied to it in a way. You have a connection with it. I mean, it feels good to like burn it and everything, but having the big ass rip roaring fire, something that I would have done, like me and a bunch of friends when I was younger, not so much anymore. That seems incredibly wasteful, and maybe that's old man talk, but I think that's just sort of the evolution of yourself and what you have and what's important. And when you're doing this stuff, spending a lot of time outside, wood becomes quite the precious commodity. So I want to keep what I have ideally in good supply and in good condition. I think I mentioned before, but I would like to build a little bit of a wood shed so I don't have to throw a tarp over the wood. And I think a wood shed looks cooler anyway. It'll be kind of a fun project. So that'll be cool. So there's definitely going to be some of that, getting some wood stuffs. And if I'm lucky, any bit of luck, when I go get the permit, maybe I'll find some different varieties other than pine. Maybe get some hardwoods. That would be pretty awesome. Stuff that is better burning. And then I get to increase my knowledge on firewood and into the arborist territory of things. Yeah, part of me feels lazy because I'm not doing anything other than this, I guess. But another part of me is just kind of enjoying it. I'm enjoying the sun. I'm enjoying just kind of walking around and building the ideas, letting those ideas sort of organically grow as I start, moving sand and moving stuff around. I was talking to my uncle about this and told him, like, every time I talk to like a neighbor, they always say, when are you gonna put a cabin on there? When are you gonna do that? And generally just say, eventually, when the time's right, so on and so forth. But he said, well, they don't get it. I'm like, no, they don't get it. Some people get it and they get it right away. Others don't. However, I feel like if you experience, camping, and especially prolonged camping, when you become a little bit more disconnected from society, disconnected from a lot of those creature comforts, you start to see the appeal of it, and really you feel it, how it makes you feel. And just, God, when you have to be outside most of the time, it does something to you. And I know for me, when I spend long periods of time indoors, it really it dulls me, and I look for distractions. And when I'm outside, there's just none of that. I feel alive. I feel engaged. That's a good word for it. I feel engaged in my surroundings, and like it gives me a purpose to life in a way, like the wood to heat and to be a resource, and to manage water and to manage the power that I have, being solar and the batteries and so on and so forth. Like, it really I reduce what I use. There's so much less waste. Discover what I actually need, and also what's also just frivolous stuff. The less of that, the better. And just getting kind of rid of that, and just not having, I don't want to manage stuff. I don't want to manage things. I don't want to do that at all. I mean, I think that's what I was doing when I was doing IT, I was just managing stuff, and I was going from one place to another place, and just always inside, and always there's a buzz or a whir or a whatever, and I'm just managing that stuff, and then manage just lots of that, and that rope ran out for me. at least in do this for 40, 50, 60 hours a week. No. No. I mean, I'm certainly capable and have quite the vast set of skills, along with being socially adept and just genuine, that yeah, I can do any of those jobs, I suppose, but I'm not gonna pursue it. I tried pursuing it again, and I didn't. There was no spark. It wasn't captivating. When I first started, it was, because it was new, it was interesting. There was a lot of like problem solving. I got to be creative, and then at some point, I couldn't be creative anymore. And where I was creative, like that creativity didn't necessarily manifest itself well in the business world, and that's unfortunate. But I mean, it's also fortunate, because that was an early grave, without a doubt. And this seems to extend life as it gives it more purpose. I don't want to be tied to systems and distractions. I still have enough already. I have the tablet and the phone and the ticker stuff, and I mean, that's some of that is sort of necessary, and I enjoy it. I mean, I enjoy learning and sort of the ebbs and flows of the market. I enjoy it. It's fascinating, and it's a roller coaster, as most traders know. But otherwise, I like to disconnect. And I like to, when you turn off your phone, you turn off your tablet, you turn off your computer, all that stuff, you turn it off and just put it away. Light a candle and just sit there. Or do something, but without those distractions, it's just, there's this relief that is amazing. Like, I love it. I spent like a week or 2 weeks in the city, and I felt dull, and I was watching a lot of videos and kind of sitting around, and I wasn't very active, and all self-induced, without a doubt. But it's interesting, like, experiencing that, that where you're spending so much time just staring at a screen. The effect of that, it's subtle, but it grows. And then, when I first get outside and I come up here, I have all these distractions and I have running thoughts, and I'm like, why am I not relaxed? Why am I not calm? And I don't want to rely on something. I don't want to have to like smoke weed to like disconnect or drink or whatever. I just want to be able to like let go and just enjoy life, and to be calm, and to interact with my world with some grace and some compassion. That's what really feels amazing, to experience what it is to have love for everyone and everything. And while that, I think, sounds corny on one level, on another level it's true. And however you can get to that feeling genuinely, good for you. Like, whether you're a religious person, or you're whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, however you can find it. And I find that when I can disconnect, I can be in touch more with who I am. Like, there's still this thing in here that's it's trying to like come to the surface. And like, yoga helps, and breathing techniques, and just being outside and being connected, and running around barefoot and getting a little dirty, and all those things, they're all incremental in this process, in this evolution of the self. And when I take myself out of that and I don't get those things, then I become dull. I lose my sensitivity. I can close my eyes right now, and I could just, like, I can hear the background energy of the universe. As weird as that may sound, I think I always have been able to, but it's much more clear now. And it's amazing. It's just, I think I can close my eyes, and when I meditate, that audio turns to visuals, and I can see energies and waves coming in, and that's awesome. Like, I lose that when I'm in a city, or when I'm indoors for long periods of time. It gradually dulls. I know what that scale is when it goes all the way to dull. I've experienced that. I lived that for years, and I know what it's like for it to be sensitive, but I don't know what it's like to be fully sensitive and fully lit up, perhaps enlightened, whatever it is you want to call it. So that way, we want to go that way. We want to keep the self alive and sensitive to life and compassionate and loving. That's what we want to do. We want to enjoy for others. That's good stuff. I'm all right with this. I think about sometimes, like, other people, they look at me and I look probably bizarre or abnormal to them, but I believe there's quite the large amount of folks who know what it is I'm talking about, that have experienced it through their own ways. And I've seen plenty of videos and just how other people interact with the world, and it would be cool to find some of those folks and just to come together and just to share and to enjoy. I think that would be great. In a way, I'm alone, and by choice, it really, but also, the people I interact with on a regular basis don't do this. They spend most of their time inside, like watching TV and, doing the social media thing, and, having just emotions sort of dictate what they do and their thoughts and so on and so forth. So like I feel loneliness, but I feel their loneliness. I don't feel lonely. I feel connected. I feel their loneliness, and like there's nothing directly I could do. I can't say, like, I do. I said, go outside, go barefoot, but like, folks are just going to look at you like you're insane. Like, you're a madman. Like, why would you do that? Like, I'm just compelled to do this, and to explain, like, the thing is, you have to experience it, really, like, and it's hard to change, and we're creatures of comfort in many ways, and so spending time inside and just being, like, in that comfortable chair and just browsing Reddit or YouTube, Facebook, whatever, like, those are all addictive things. And that's, understandably so. It's hard to break those addictions. It's like the addiction to sugar. It's fucking powerful, man. It's really powerful, and you don't realize how addicted you are until you step away and you disconnect. And then when you do, you're like, oh wow. And I think that can be life-changing in the most positive ways, but it has to be done. And I guess it's unfortunate how many folks I come across that just they seem so alone, and they just seem like they're just suffering, and they're angry, and they're depressed, and they're just looking. You get addicted to these things, and because these distractions are all easy. It's easy to look at your phone. It's easy to look at a laptop. It's easy to do because it's just right there. Click, and then those devices. I mean, they're just so expertly engineered to buzz and to beep and just to get your attention, to look. It takes you away. It just takes you away into this land of distractions, and it just leads to suffering. It does. I mean, they're amazing things. It's amazing technology, and we're on like this technical revolution that we're living in, and it's happening so fast, and it's so amazing, and it's just so awesome on one hand and just so devastating on the other. And trying to figure out what that balance is, that's so difficult. I went in for a job interview like maybe a year ago, and it was for an outdoor job, like painting lines for electric stuff, like where you paint, where you see like on grass, someone will paint a line because there's like electric underneath because they're going to dig around there or whatever. The utility, I don't know what that is. Anyways, like I'm like, I could totally do this. Like I like being outside. The weather is, I'm fine with that. I would rather be outside. But like during the interview, they were saying like, sometimes it's like 50, 60 plus hours a week. And well, that's a fucking turnoff. And then they asked, what's important to you? And I said like, well, quality of life. That's what's really important. That's what's become like the most important thing. And then the response when I said quality of life was, what do you mean by that? What do you mean? What do I mean by that? Like quality of life, like, anywho, that's, it's something that sticks with me and I think about every now and then. And, I did IT for 10 years and I made good money and I could buy stuff and I could have Amazon packages show up every other day. And like, it was not fulfilling. It was so destructive. It was so just, it was a waste in so many ways. I mean, it wasn't all a waste. I don't regret any of it because it was such a learning experience for me. It was so enlightening. Like now looking back and how much cash I blew on just frivolous, stupid things. And I think a lot of us experience that when you got some money in the bank, you go do stupid things like you buy a new car or you go buy a bunch of new things or you build a new computer every year or whatever it is. You just, all these things that it's almost like it's just something to do and the money's sitting there. So, I mean, you worked for it, you might as well use it for something. And it comes down to, I guess, the leaky bucket, which, my mom went to Arizona, went to the RTR, and there was a guy there, I forget his name, but he's a poet and a orator. So he'd speak in front of people and read his poetry. And one of them was about the leaky bucket. And that's sort of an analogy that I think has been used often. And, you patch those leaks in that bucket and then you don't have to put as much water in. And come to find out, just stuff doesn't make you happy. And if anything, it kind of takes away from life. And just, that now, like with this van build I'm trying to do and just with doing stuff around here, like it's whatever's here, it's whatever's available, it's whatever I get. And then like, sure, could I go order some of this stuff from Amazon or whatever? Okay, yeah, but like when I do it this way and use what I have, it forces me to be creative. It forces me to think outside the box. It forces me to make different neural connections. And just when I start thinking differently, that's where creativity starts to flow and I get into flow states. And I get into flow states every day, frequently, all day long, whether I'm strumming the guitar, I'm writing, I'm doing this, talking to you right now, or just clearing stuff and letting these sort of projects organically build. Those are all flow states. And I force the creativity. I don't hit the easy button, just figure it out. Forced to figure it out. What do you do? Like, it's like an investment. This time is like an investment that I am investing in myself. And if I can improve this one, then I can be the best version of this one as frequently as possible and for other people. For the family and the friends and the people I come across, I can be the best version of myself. Eliminating, the egoic thought, just having compassion, having love, being just a pleasant person, someone you would like to talk to, you'd like to sit down and hang out with or do something with, whatever, like that's awesome. Like, that's one of the things that's just really important. It's amazingly important. As we are social creatures, we need to interact. You know, if you have better interactions, it just leads to better quality of life. And I think it's true that, you know, the 5 or 10 people that you're around the most, that you interact with the most, sort of become you. That's those traits and those characteristics are what you hold on to. And so if you can improve yourself, that indirectly improves everyone around you. And then that has a cascading effect. You want to send good, positive waves out into the world. That's, I think, what that means, is by improving yourself and being the best person and the most present you can be to everyone that you interact with. You know, it allows you to listen unconditionally, to laugh and to feel and to create and to just, you know, if everyone you interact with just feels a little bit better by the end of that interaction, well, that's awesome. Like, right? Like, that's, what else could you ask for? That, and just pass it on. You know, just pay it forward. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Ah, glad I'm recording this. Glad I know what it feels like. I'm grateful. Now you know why I'm grateful.